We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. We shall never surrender. We shall never surrender.
Here we are. Here we are. Things are getting slightly real. So people thought that, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Italy await. And I think the footballing semi-final was played. It was a quality game. I think it's definitely one of the games, probably the game of the Euros in terms of just the intensity, the quality, and the stakes. Unlucky for Spain. Well done to Italy. But we've now reached the psychological period of this. Because I don't think you guys know how big this game is. Because the storylines of both these teams are incredible. Superb. Amazing. That's why I have to take things to this scenario that we're in right now because of how intense things are right now. So things are now really intense because the game has slightly changed. The game has slightly changed. The England narrative is 1966. Only if you live in England, only if you live in Angleterre do you understand the Bonnie Prince Charlie, Queen Lizzie, Winston Churchill state of mind of what England are. These people are desperate. English are desperate for this trophy. And they know that this is perhaps one of the best opportunities they have because this is a quality team. I'll give it a start with you. This is a quality team. This is a very, very good team and a team that is very capable of doing something. And you have an amazing opportunity because you have 2 games at Wembley. You have 2 games where you have the home crowd behind you. And if you win these 2 games, you win this story trophy called the European Championship. Denmark. There is no greater Cinderella story than the Denmark story. This is the Cinderella story. This is the story where, yes, I want to be a Cinderella merchant. This is it. As Michael Joseph Jackson would say, based on what has happened, every football fan held their breath during Eriksen's episode. Everyone did. We fear the worst. And thank God. Thank the Lord that the worst didn't happen. To this day, Denmark believe that they shouldn't have played that game against Finland on that same day. And we all thought that lost to Finland, which would have never happened if they weren't supposed to play, and lost to Belgium, they're out. Denmark were not supposed to be here in the semi-final. It's somehow, through their will, their skill, and their inner strength, they produced one of the performances of the tournament in that game against Russia, and now they find themselves here. So the Denmark narrative, I think it is the narrative that I think if you're a football fan without someone in the race, you want Denmark to win. The neutral wants Denmark to win. So obviously people in England want England to win. Everyone else in the world wants Denmark to win. So the guy's praying for Denmark. So the support from England and English and the entire world who want to see this amazing Cinderella story come through is the Disney merchants. It's all here. So a lot is riding on this. But for me, for England, like, I'll keep it real with you. For England, this is your chance. This is your opportunity. You will not get a better chance of winning this trophy like now. You won't. Because I feel, for me, England are the better team. Denmark have been very impressive. England are the better team. I don't give a damn what happened in the Nations League, because the Nations League isn't a European Championship semi-final at Wembley. Those are two totally different matches. Don't talk to me about the Confederations Cup, a Nations League, or Olympics. Don't talk to me about other stuff. I deal with high stakes. Okay? Basically, like, the AKA of this channel is Half of Football Hot, AKA High Stakes. Okay, that's my new name now is High Stakes. Call me HS. My new name is HS. How HH aka H is High Stakes. I only deal in high stakes, and these are high stakes. So if you're England, you look at the lineup. For me, I was think, as much as I love Sancho, and I'm a huge fan of Sancho, I would argue that I think perhaps it is best that your boy Saka gets back in the lineup. I don't think there's any space for Foden in the lineup. Now, I think Grealish should start, but again, Mount is Mount. He helps defensively, and he has a knack of picking and passing. If there is a guy to make a critical pass and the right decision on the right time, it is Mount. We saw what he did in the UCL final. So maybe Mount is like, you know what, coach, trust me. Because I understand what... Because remember, Grealish have not played in big games. Mount has played in big games and he's popped off in big games. Look at that goal that he scored against FC Porto in the CL quarter. Look at the pass he made to Havertz in the CL final. Grealish, you've never done that. So based on high stakes, who do you trust more, Grealish or Mount? Probably Mount. Because he understands what it means to say what's up in the high stakes. He's a UCL winner. Relax. For Denmark, I worry about Poulsen and go to it. Because, as I said again, I have to keep repeating it. We're in high stakes mode now. And because we're in high stakes mode now, go to it and so forth, you cannot afford. You do not have the luxury to be missing opportunities, to be missing chances. That can happen. It's a Euro semi-final and you are on the cusp of something truly exceptional, truly special. Because from a psychological point of view is, how does the crowd affect Denmark? Because that is something, because I was listening to Alessandro Del Piero talk about this, about how he feels that, Italy will be buoyed by the fact of playing England in the final, because there is an advantage of playing as the away team, like the so-called villains and the underdogs, where you don't actually, because you don't have the pressure of the crowd within you. So that can be something, oh yes, we're like playing the role of the villain. But see, for Denmark, it's weird. You're playing the role of the villain because you're obviously in England's house and you will not have any support from your guys. But at the same time, Denmark know that the world is behind us. Let's keep it real. The world, everyone wants a lovely story. People that don't watch football, it's a Spielbergian story. It is something that people will say, oh my gosh, like the Eriksen thing, the people that were crying. We don't know what Denmark could do. They were pretty much headed out. Then they found something within themselves to now win that crucial game. First time ever, a team loses 2 games, so forth, and you now made your way to the semi. It's the story, right? Like, it's a film. It's a movie. Like, if Denmark were to win these Euros, that's your movie. That's your whole... It's too good. Like, that, like, for Hollywood, like, oh my gosh, stop. Look, boom, here you go. Denzel... What's it called? Forrest Whitaker. What was it called? Joaquin Phoenix, Meryl Streep, Viola Davis. Let's ride. Boom. Let's go. So, I believe that this is too good an opportunity for England to pass up. I think Denmark will prove a quality opponent, a formidable opponent. And I think Denmark, knowing how good they are, how well they move the ball around, how positive they are and the kind of good football that they play. I really like what the Damsgaard kid does. Dolbeck has just emerged out of nowhere, and Poulsen can be useful. Delaney as well in midfield is key. Christensen, my gosh, what he's done with care. So there is some quality there. But I just feel that, especially if Southgate gets the lineup right, England will be too strong. I do think that those goals that Kane scored in Ukraine has just given him a new lease of life, and I feel like he could get a brace. He could. I very much see Kane getting a brace in this, and I just think that whether it's through Sterling or Saka, I just think that England have found their feet, they found their groove, and I think unlike that trash-ass golden generation who flopped and were overhyped, these guys are the real deal because these kids, these individuals, Sancho, Saka, Sterling, so forth, these guys are actually good. On an individual tip, these guys are actually good. These guys are game changers. Saka, Sancho, Sterling, boom. These guys are game changers, Mounts and so forth. So I think England will be too strong for Denmark. And I just think that, I cannot see it. I'm trying to look at it visually. I can't see Denmark, tactically speaking, breaking down the English rearguard. I just don't see England conceding. So I do think this is going to be a 2-0 dub. Denmark will test that jaw. They'll test that jaw, but I just think England will, especially with that crowd behind them, specifically after they sing their anthem and you just hear the crowd willing them up. Because England, those guys are like passion merchants, and I just think that crowd is going to be something, and I think that wave of support will be too strong for Denmark to withstand. So for me, I feel England, but even beyond the whole crowd thing, I just think as a team, England's defense, the structure of the defense, the personnel, Poulsen thing, even Dolbeck. Dolbeck has been cool, but this is a step up from Wales, Russia, and Czech Republic. It's a huge step up. It's a massive, huge step up here. So keeping that in mind, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for Denmark to make that G. But look, we'll wait till we see what happens, but I think say England 2-0. Remember to follow me on Twitch. I will be doing the watch along on Twitch. All that's there to just press the like button, subscribe, and it's a Euro semi. Again, no bigger than this. Carpe diem. Seize the moment. You have two huge narratives. The Gareth Southgate narrative is a huge narrative based on an amazing redemption story from the most hated man in 1996 to now a guy who could lead England to their second ever trophy in their entire football history. For Denmark, my God, if these guys are able to do this, even if they're able to beat England in England, that Ericsson pack is strong. That Ericsson pack is strong. So, guys, we await and we see who shall meet Italiano in the final. Peace out. Stay true. Stay real. Like the vid. Subscribe. We ride.